In this presentation, we will discuss characteristics of internal service funds. Remembering that internal service funds is a type of proprietary fund, the proprietary funds having two categories, one category being the internal service funds, our focus here, the second category being the enterprise funds. When we think about internal service funds, we're thinking about funds that are similar to for-profit type of accounting in that we have something like customers related to them. However, those customers are going to be typically internal to the organization, internal to the government, as opposed to the enterprise funds being the proprietary funds that have customers outside of the organization, outside of the government. We're talking about proprietary funds and comparing and contrasting them in our minds to the governmental funds, the largest grouping of funds. Governmental funds being on a modified accrual basis. You'll recall the proprietary funds, which the internal service fund is a part of, is on a normal type of accrual basis, or what would be more considered normal for most people that are going from a for-profit accounting to governmental accounting. Internal service funds are used to improve financial management of government resources. So when considering the management of government resources, we may use internal service funds in order to manage those resources, treating other units of the government as something like customers to the internal service fund as we account for the internal service fund and manage the resources that are being used within it. Ordinance or other legislative action to authorize the establishment should specify the source of financial resources for operations. In other words, what are going to be the sources of operations within the internal service fund? These could include contributions, interfund loans, proceeds of tax support bond issues, or transfers from other governments. So in other words, where's the revenue going to come from? Where's the financing source going to come from within the internal service fund? Internal service funds, external financial reporting. Internal service fund financial information is reported as a separate column in the Statement of Net Position, Proprietary Funds, Statement of Revenue, Expenses, and Changes in Net Position, Proprietary Funds, Statement of Cash Flows, Proprietary Funds. In the government-wide Statement of Net Position and Statement of Activities, internal service fund financial information is collapsed and reported in the governmental activities column of the government-wide financial statements. That is, unless enterprise funds are the predominant participant in the internal service fund.